It seemed as though the judge tried to intervene to try and counsel Routh himself and say, maybe you should seek counsel, and yet he still chose to self-represent here. Joseph, was that the first mistake, or was the evidence just overwhelming?
Well, the evidence was overwhelming, but it is always a mistake to represent yourself. And what you saw there with the judge cautioning him is what judges do, because they don't want to be overturned. They don't want the case to be overturned on appeal because the person who's accused, who's representing themselves, just does something that's so out of bounds that the judge doesn't know how to handle it. So judges, you have to let somebody represent themselves when they qualify, but you have to be cautious. So the judge was laying a record to make sure that the case wouldn't be overturned on appeal.
Yeah, and clearly someone who's not all there with it. I mean, then he tried to attempt to stab himself with a pen following the verdict, clearly what he tried to do in September of last year. What do we know about the evidence here? Because a jury, I mean, I think it's telling how long they deliberate, usually.
Sure. Yeah. So the evidence was overwhelming as we started off talking about this. They had the rifle. The rifle had his fingerprints on it. It was loaded. It had an 11-round magazine. They had a letter of intent that he had sent to two individuals saying this was an attempted assassination of of candidate Trump at that time. And if you're getting this message, it means I wasn't successful. They had cell phone data showing that he was tracking President Trump, or then candidate Trump, and really kind of stalking and laying out and pre-planning this assassination attempt.
Yeah, and obviously now the sentencing, he'll be up for life in prison. I'm not sure if it's with the eligibility of parole, but there are instances of people like, for example, John Hinckley, who attempted to assassinate Reagan right here in D.C., who's now a free man. Could that be the possibility for Routh?
And what I'm seeing so far is that there's a mandatory minimum of at least 17 years to a lifetime top. So I believe that the judge will have discretion anywhere within that range between the 17 years and a life in prison. So it will be up to the judge. Federal mandatory minimums are not mandatory anymore. Thankfully, judges do have some discretion. So it will be up to the judge at sentencing.
All right, Joseph, we'll see exactly what happens there with sentencing of Ryan Routh. We appreciate the insight there on that breaking news out of Florida tonight.
Thank you.
So move on now to New York, where